Hey you, welcome back to Secrets with Maeve, the space for the conversations we usually keep to ourselves. I'm Maeve. Today we're talking about something I know so many of us struggle with in silence. She'll never tell you, but these 5 signs mean she's missing you. Let's get into it. Do you ever notice how silence from her can feel louder than words? How the moments she doesn't text, doesn't call, and doesn't respond suddenly make your chest tighten, your mind race, and your heart replay every interaction you've ever had. That tension you feel, that unease, that's the first sign she's missing you. But here's the secret: no one tells you. A woman rarely admits when she's longing for someone. It's a quiet, invisible pull that manifests in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. And if you know what to look for, you can see it everywhere. Women are wired differently from men when it comes to emotional vulnerability. While you might express longing through direct words, she does it with contradictions. She might pull away, act distant, or even seem annoyed, but that is often just a mask, a defense mechanism. Because admitting she misses you makes her feel exposed, vulnerable, weak, and in a society that has trained women to appear unshakable, she'll bury that desire deep inside. The first thing you'll notice is the shift in her energy. She may stop posting her usual confident selfies, stop sharing details about her life, or start subtly checking your social media. These aren't random actions. They are the fingerprints of her mind circling back to you. She is thinking about you when she doesn't need to. She's replaying conversations, analyzing your behavior, imagining moments that never happened. And here's the kicker: she might not even consciously realize she's doing it. Her subconscious is betraying her conscious behavior. Then comes the tiny, almost imperceptible messages. Maybe she texts you a random meme, a song lyric, or something that only you would understand. Maybe she accidentally bumps into your messages or reacts to a post after hours of silence. To an outsider, it seems casual to you. If you've learned to read her energy, it's a breadcrumb trail straight to her heart. This is her way of saying without saying, "I'm thinking of you. I can't stop thinking of you." And the pull doesn't end there. She might start showing conflicted behavior. Angry one moment, playful the next. She might test boundaries, challenge your attention, or provoke you in small ways. Why? Because every interaction, every flicker of connection feeds the part of her that's aching to admit she misses you. She's trying to measure if you miss her back. She's trying to see if you notice the subtle void she's creating in her own life by not reaching out. But here's the part most men get wrong. She isn't missing just the attention or just the comfort. She's missing the way you make her feel when she allows herself to drop the walls she's been trained to keep up. That feeling of being safe, understood, and seen. That's what she craves, but can't verbalize. And until she sees that the connection still exists, she'll continue this emotional tug-of-war silently. By now, you might be wondering, how do you know for sure? How do you differentiate between someone who truly misses you and someone who's just playing games? That's exactly what we're going to uncover next. But first, start observing. Watch the energy, notice the patterns, feel the contradictions. Because in the silence, in the hesitation, in the small gestures that almost go unnoticed, that's where the truth hides. Now that you've started noticing her energy and the small breadcrumbs she leaves behind, it's time to understand why she behaves this way. A woman missing you is not just feeling a momentary pang of loneliness. It's a deep, almost primal response that taps into her attachment wiring, her ego, and her subconscious desire for connection. And when she can't admit it, that tension intensifies, creating contradictions you'll notice if you're paying attention. She might appear indifferent, act irritated when you text, or even seem annoyed when you reach out. But behind that surface, her mind is replaying every moment with you, analyzing your words, your tone, the way you laugh, the way you tease her. Every memory becomes magnified. Every laugh, every glance, every shared secret echoes in her thoughts. She's caught in a loop where admitting her feelings feels dangerous, but suppressing them is impossible. This is the paradox you need to see clearly. And here's the part men often overlook. Her emotions are rarely linear. She might go days without reaching out, then suddenly, for no apparent reason, send a message that seems out of place, out of context, or even provocative. That's her inner conflict spilling outward. She's trying to reconcile her pride with her longing. She's testing whether you're aware, whether you care enough to notice the subtle signs. Pay close attention to the unspoken attention. She may comment on things you've shared in passing weeks ago. She remembers details you thought she forgot. She notices the small changes in your life. These moments, subtle as they are proof she's present in your world, even when she's absent. Her mind is orbiting around you, quietly measuring the emotional distance and the possibility of reconnection. Then there's the emotional manipulation we often misinterpret. She may provoke jealousy, tease, or even withdraw affection unexpectedly. To many men, this seems confusing or frustrating, but psychologically, it's her way of creating tension and testing the emotional gravity between you. She wants to see if the bond you share is strong enough to survive her silence, her pride, her defenses. Every challenge she throws is a disguised cry. I miss you, but I can't say it. This is also where timing and scarcity play their role. When she distances herself, the mind perceives absence as value. Every moment she doesn't call or respond, she's subtly increasing her own emotional worth in your eyes and often unknowingly increasing the intensity of her own longing. She's trapped in a psychological loop, pushing you away while wishing you would pull her back in. And if you misread this, you risk missing the very signs that confirm she's thinking about you constantly. And make no mistake, she feels this longing physically too. Her body remembers the comfort of your presence, the warmth of your voice, the way your attention made her feel understood, safe, and alive. Missing you isn't just a mental game, it's a chemical reaction. Dopamine spikes at memories, serotonin drops at absence. She experiences it as restlessness, subtle anxiety, or sudden urges to check in, even when her pride says otherwise. The most important thing to remember is that her silence is never empty. There's always meaning behind her absence, always intention behind her contradictions, always emotion hidden in her words or lack thereof. And if you learn to recognize the patterns, the subtleties, the micro signs, you'll see the truth that so many men completely miss. She's longing for you far more than she's willing to admit. By now you've started to notice the patterns, the silence, the subtle touches of attention, the contradictions in her behavior, but there's a deeper layer, one most men completely miss, the unconscious signals she can't control. Even when a woman is determined to hide her longing, her body, her tone, and her instincts betray her. And if you know how to read them, you'll understand more about her than she's willing to say out loud. First, notice the way her energy shifts when you enter her mind space. She might start mirroring your behavior without realizing it, matching your speech patterns, your gestures, even your jokes. This is instinctive. Humans subconsciously mimic the ones they feel close to. When she's missing you, this mirroring is amplified. It's a silent, invisible pull, a subconscious admission of her longing. A subtle declaration that her attention is locked on you, even when her words suggest otherwise. Then watch her micro expressions, a flicker of sadness when she glances at your photo, a quick smile when she sees a notification from you, a hesitant pause before she responds to your message. These tiny, almost imperceptible signals betray her attempt to maintain control while secretly revealing her emotional state. Men often dismiss these as inconsequential, but the truth is they're loud indicators of desire and absence combined. Another thing to notice is her pattern of distraction. She may appear distant in conversation, fidgety or preoccupied, but if you observe closely, you'll catch her attention drifting back to you repeatedly. Her phone, her environment, even her thoughts betray the invisible gravity you have in her life. She may protest, "I don't care," but her body language screams otherwise. Every glance, every delayed response, every casual comment is loaded with subtle reminders that she's thinking of you more than she lets on. Now, here's where most men fail. They mistake her push and pull for rejection, when in reality, it's a projection of her own inner struggle. She misses you, but pride, fear, or previous heartbreak keeps her from admitting it. The emotional tug-of-war you see is not about disinterest. It's about her testing the strength of your connection, gauging your emotional investment, and subconsciously asking herself if you are the anchor she needs. Every subtle test, every playful challenge, every withdrawn gesture is designed by her instincts to provoke a response from you. And if you misread it, the opportunity to reconnect slips through your fingers. Then there's the language of longing. Even if she doesn't say, "I miss you," her words carry it. The casual references to shared memories, the sudden curiosity about your day, the small acts of care that feel out of place. These are her subconscious ways of bridging the gap she can't admit exists. She's constructing a pathway toward you, hoping you notice, hoping you reach back, hoping you understand the invisible weight of her absence. Finally, understand this. A woman who misses you but can't admit it is living in contradiction every single day. Part of her wants to pull you close. Part of her wants to hide her feelings entirely. That tension manifests in the subtle hidden behaviors you've started to recognize. And the men who see it, the ones who truly understand the invisible signs, hold the power. They can respond with presence, awareness, and emotional intelligence. And in doing so, they unlock the connection that her pride has kept locked away. By now, you've leared to see her silence, her subtle cues, her unconscious signals. But understanding why she acts this way will give you power. Few men ever notice. When a woman misses you but can't admit it, her mind is caught in a constant tug-of-war between desire and defense. She wants to reach out, to bridge the gap, to feel your presence, but fear, pride, or even shame keeps her frozen. And yet there are emotional triggers, small invisible levers that can make her break through her own barriers, whether she realizes it or not. The first trigger is attention without pressure. When she sees you living your life fully, chasing goals, building confidence, radiating calm, her mind starts to whisper almost involuntarily, "I want that energy, that presence, that feeling." She notices when you're secure, when you're emotionally independent, when you don't chase. And paradoxically, the less you reach for her, the more she feels compelled to check if she still matters in your world. This is where absence becomes a silent amplifier of desire, and she feels it in ways words can't express. Then comes validation through observation. She craves subtle acknowledgement. Notice her efforts, her presence, her personality quirks, but not through excessive praise. A simple, intentional recognition of who she is sparks a profound reaction in her. It tells her, "You see me, you remember me, you care about me in ways that count." That small act creates an invisible loop. Her mind starts craving your attention more, and the longing she's been burying intensifies even if she can't put it into words. Another trigger is mystery paired with consistency. When she can't predict your every move, when you're not always available yet, you remain reliable in the moments that count. She experiences tension that feels magnetic. Her subconscious interprets this as a signal that you are not just another option, but someone worth thinking about, someone whose presence carries weight in her life. Every unexpected message, every slight but meaningful gesture becomes a spark in the quiet room of her mind, reigniting emotions she thought she was controlling. Then there's the power of emotional resonance. Women are wired to respond to feelings more than logic. When your energy resonates with hers, when your presence, your voice, your calm confidence triggers memories of safety, excitement, and intimacy, she cannot ignore it. Even if she hides it, even if she acts distant, the emotional echo of your connection pulls at her heart relentlessly. It's why she may suddenly reach out after days of silence, or why a single word from you can trigger hours of reflection. Finally, understand this. The longing she feels is rarely about wanting you back in a simple sense. It's about the emotions you invoke, the state of being you create, the space you occupy in her mind that no one else can replace. When a woman misses you but can't admit it, her entire behavior, every contradiction, every test, every withdrawal is shaped by this invisible gravity. And the men who perceive this, who respond with awareness rather than desperation, hold a subtle power. They can guide her back into the connection she's secretly yearning for without her ever consciously admitting she misses you. By now, you've seen the signs, understood the subtle energy shifts, and decoded the invisible messages she sends when she misses you, but can't admit it. But the final truth, the one most men never grasp, is that her longing is rarely obvious. It's hidden in contradictions, masked in pride, and buried beneath layers of defense she's built over years. And if you misread it, you miss the chance to connect with her on the level she secretly craves. The last and most revealing signs aren't in her words, they're in her behavior. Notice how she reacts when you appear unexpectedly, even virtually. That flicker of surprise, that subtle lift in her tone, that momentary softening of posture. These micro reactions are the honest signals of desire. She can fight them consciously, but they slip out involuntarily. Her mind betrays her heart in ways most men overlook. Then watch for emotional consistency under stress. When she's having a bad day, when her life is chaotic, does she still think of you? Does she still reach out in small ways, drop subtle hints, or react to your presence even when distracted? These are the strongest indicators that she's missing you at a level deeper than fleeting attachment. She's replaying memories, craving connection, and hoping you notice. Another critical point is the contrast between her social and private self. In public or around friends, she may appear indifferent, even dismissive. But in moments of solitude, when she messages late at night, shares thoughts only you understand, or revisits shared memories in her mind, you catch the glimpses of her vulnerability. That gap between the persona she projects and the truth she hides is the clearest evidence she's longing for you silently. And understand this. Women rarely communicate longing openly because vulnerability carries risk. Pride, fear of rejection, and past experiences train her to suppress it. Yet the mind cannot fully ignore emotional attachment. Even when she denies it, even when she appears indifferent, she is constantly evaluating, imagining, and feeling the absence of what she truly desires. That tension is why the push and pull feels so confusing to men. But it's also where the opportunity lies. So what do you do with this knowledge? Observe, understand, and respond with quiet confidence. Don't chase, don't pressure. Let her signals guide you. The man who recognizes these signs, who can interpret silence as loudly as words, commands a presence in her mind that no declaration can achieve. You become the constant she can't forget, the emotional anchor she secretly longs for, the only one capable of filling the space her pride has left empty. Here's your challenge, your personal test. Think about her subtle cues, the moments she's pulled away and yet circled back, the invisible breadcrumbs she's left. How often do these moments line up with her unspoken desire for you? Multiply that by the days of absence versus the times she subtly seeks your attention, and tell me your answer in the comments. If this resonates, hit that like button. Share this with a friend who needs to hear the truth. and subscribe for more insights into female psychology and the dynamics that most men never understand. And remember, the silence, the contradictions, the hidden longing, it's all there if you know how to see it. Are you ready to see?